And we're back, guys. I'm your host, Good Energy. We are going to take a look at the blockbuster matchup between Coco and Osaka. But first, I'm your host, Good Energy. As always, my coverage is brought to you via the Doctrine of Fair Use to Fair Dealing in the Digital Millennium Act. We're going to take a look at the other matches on the schedule first, so stay tuned. We will get to Coco and Osaka in one moment. But we have a great lineup of matches. And we're going to start first with Karolina Mukova and Marta Kashu. Both of these ladies are big time. I want to say congratulations to Marta for coming through in her last match against the French woman, Diane Parry. Marta, I've talked about her stamina for quite some time. And this is why, look, no matter what profession you're in, you need to run, build up your cardio, expand your lungs, get that blood flowing, because a couple of years ago, Marta's stamina was not good. Now she's consistently going 3 sets. She got revenge against Katie Bolter. I thought that was a very, very good win after losing that San Diego championship to her. And I felt overall, she showed great mental toughness against Samnez. That went 3 sets. And against Diane Parry, that went 3 sets. Diane Parry was controlling that match. Diane Parry, she had Marta on the back foot. She was hitting her winners down the line. She was serving well. And I did feel Diane Parry would lose the match, like I said, because I personally saw Diane Parry run out of gas against Renata Zarazova. She cramped up. And that was horrible. So in the third set tiebreak, it was 8-3. Diane Parry was up big, just needed 2 more points. And she was serving. She stepped up to the line, just needing 2 points. She cramped up. Renata won that point. And in fact, Renata would win 4 points in a row. And if it wasn't for a mishap from Renata coming up short, Diane Parry had the match point, and then she just came off with an amazing serve. She had to dig deep for it. I felt Renata wins that match. She ties it up at 8 because Diane Parry cramped up, and that was horrible to see. This matchup here, she started off fast. She had recovery, clearly. And Marta was very frustrated, yelling and screaming at her camp like she always does, right? What's new? But she managed to get the break early and hold on in the second set. And that was really the decider, as she's here after taking out Bolter, which is a very good win. She got revenge for that San Diego matchup. And Samnez and Parry went 3 sets. So I feel she's doing a great job mentally, better than normal. But Mukova, look, she went 3 with Venus, 3 with Sorana Cirstea, and 3 with Noskova. I'm not sure how much longer she can go 3, right? She had the issue with her boyfriend coming to the match, her ex-boyfriend rather, and she got very emotional during that match against Sorana Cirstea, but she managed to hold on. Mukova's got a lot more variety. The problem with this matchup, I feel that Marta can push a pace that Mukova at her age. She to me, Mukova's slowing down. That I don't know if Mukova can consistently handle. But Marta's has to push that pace. If you let Mukova style and profile and stretch the court, these wide serving volleys and these beautiful put together plays, then Marta's going to get very frustrated and they can spiral out of control. Marta has to play fast. She's got to play vertical. She's got to take away Karolina's angles. I think it's easier said than done, though. I'm going to go with Mukova to defeat Marta in this matchup. Up next, Beatrice Haddad taking on Amanda Anisimova. Amanda looks good, and I like what I'm seeing. And we all know Americans have dominated the Grand Slams the last year. We've had Americans, and look, let me remind you. All right, let's go back to last year. Pegula made the final. She lost to Sabalenka. The Australian Open, Maddie Patty won that. The French Open, Coco won that. Wimbledon, Amanda was a finalist. What's going to happen here? We have 3 Americans left, Pegula, Coco, and Amanda. Beatrice is having a horrible season, just abhorrent, just downright awful. But she pulls it together when she needs to keep her points. She's ranked 22nd. 13-23 on the year, ladies and gentlemen. Beatrice Haddad has lost 5 of her last 10. Losses to Buskova, Maia Joint, Susan Layman's, Dalma Galfi, Jasmine Paulini. Some tough competitors in there. She's here after taking out Cartel, Golobic, and the Greek Goddess. Not necessarily the tougher competition of the two. I think Jacqueline Christian was playing tough. I think Maia Joint was playing good. And Kimberly Burrell, always a good shot maker. The head-to-head is 2-1 in favor of Amanda. They haven't played in a couple years. The last time they did face each other was in Australia, and Beatrice did win that. Amanda's 36-15 on the year. This is the most wins she's had on the main tour. She's having her best season. She made Wimbledon final. Former junior number 1, former junior slam champion. She actually beat Coco in one of those big-time junior matches. I'll let you guys comment in the comment section if you remember what it is. Yeah, she beat Coco in a very big match as a junior. But listen, guys, I like Amanda to get the win. I think the crowd's going to be enough. And overall, even though she beat the Greek Goddess, I don't know what's up with Greece tennis. I think Greece tennis is on the decline. I think Stefanos is not going to be seeded in 3 years. And in fact, I don't know when Maria will be seeded again. I like Amanda to win. The force is with her. Iga! Big bad Iga! Hang on, guys. We're going to get to Coco pretty soon. Ekaterina, listen. The head-to-head, this has been a tough battle between these two. You know, of the 6 times they played, 2 have gone to 3 sets. And overall, guys, they've had 3 tie breaks in the matches of the 6 times they faced each other. This is a competitive matchup. Ekaterina knows how to play Iga. Iga owns a head-to-head 4-2, yes. They played this year Bad Hamburg, but again, another tiebreak. I think Ekaterina destroyed Laura Sigmund. She said no, not going to happen today. That type of confidence, quick, short match. She's recovered probably easily, right? So I think she's in a good space mentally. You have a big win like that, it helps. Iga defeated Anna Kalinskaya last time out. Tough match, though, right? First set, tiebreak, second set, 10 games. That was a tough match. Iga did break on the 9th game in the second set, and she closed it out. I'm going to take Ekaterina to win a set, and I'm going to take Ekaterina to upset Iga. I think Ekaterina knows she has to play hard, aggressive. She's got to stretch the court, and she's got to play carefree. You can't play Iga and expect to play a pretty match and win or a safe match and win. You have to be aggressive. You have to take risks. That's Ekaterina style. And I say, yeah, of all the players in the top 20, Ekaterina misses the worst. Her misses are awful. And I used to joke, if you're sitting near the baseline, bring your helmet, because you might get hit with the ball. She misses, but she takes risks, and that's how she's going to beat Iga Swiatek. She's got to serve well. Her +1s, her forehands got to be on the money. Go away from Iga. Stretch the court. I'm taking Ekaterina to defeat Iga. That's going to shuffle up the draw, ladies and gentlemen. Now, she's going to have a quick turnaround because she's playing doubles with Zhang Sui. Venus Williams, long hair, don't care. Leylah Fernandez. It's going to be a good match. Glad to see Venus out there. I can't tell you how many older, middle-aged white women are walking the grounds talking about how exciting it is and was to see Venus. I'm telling you guys, look, and I know the whole race thing is come up with Taylor Townsend and Jelena Ostapenko, and look, I'll touch upon it quickly, then pivot, because Coco's up next. Thank you for hanging in there and listening. Coco and Osaka's up next. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think Jelena Ostapenko is a racist, okay? I don't. And I don't even like to use the R word on this channel, because the reality here is I've heard many interviews of her idolizing Venus and Serena. So you can't be the R word if your idols are black. I'm not buying that one, because you're looking up to blacks in a sport that is predominantly and has been predominantly white. Although the ATA is the oldest professional black league in this country, tennis, guys. We've been doing it at the HBCUs on grass for a long time at a high level. Althea Gibson celebrating 75 years of breaking the color barrier, the first to win a slam, the first to play in a slam, and the first to do it big. Althea Gibson, guys, had to walk away from the sport because they weren't paying her. She had to fly to Australia, which back then Australia didn't have the segregation and a lot of the issues that were here in the United States. So not that they accepted her, but we all know the history of Australia as well. So a lot of black and brown people, if we go way back in the history of Australia. But that was a time where she could go there, play the slams, and she wasn't making money. She had to walk away from the sport, play golf. And it's a shame because a lot of people felt she would have had a lot more Grand Slams. But nonetheless, I've heard experts say, yes, it was a different time, different game. But I've heard experts say she would probably beat Serena Williams if she played in her era. That's how good she was. And again, just hearing all the ladies celebrate Alicia Parks, players like Taylor Townsend, Robin Montgomery, Coco. I'm at these matches. I hear the conversation. And yes, it's been a long week of racial discussions, but I'm out here in the stands. I'm hearing these middle-aged women that are white celebrate Coco, celebrate Alicia Parks, celebrate Taylor Townsend. And I'm going to post some shorts today of how packed Taylor Townsend gets these crowds in America. She plays her best tennis in the USA, and it's a shame she blew 8 match points yesterday because I think Taylor Townsend would beat Pegula. I really do. I think tennis is about matchups. It's about strategy. It's not really about how good you are or can be. It's about the game plan that your coach and your staff can put together for you, because these players now at this point in the draw, there's tons of film, there's tons of footage. We know what they can and can't do. We know what they're comfortable doing. And if you can perfect your game plan, then you can win. That's what tennis is about, guys. If you can play your game, you got a shot. But if you can take away what your opponent does best, I think you'll never lose. But again, I don't think Yelena is the R word. I just think she's an equal opportunist discriminator. and that's her go-to word, because I'm seeing a lot of casual fans. They're kind of joining the conversation. They don't really watch tennis. I've heard at least on 2 or 3 occasions Yelena say the same thing. Oh, you're uneducated, you have no class. And they were to white players. That's her go-to phrase when she's on the back foot and she's losing an argument or a match. She says that all the time. I've covered at least 2 or 3 times where she said that. So I don't think Taylor should, or any African American should, take that personal. That's what she does. She's been voted on this channel the worst player on tour when it comes to professionalism and attitude. And that's nothing new. That vote was 3 years ago on the channel. So she's been doing this for a while. It's nothing new. But I did spark a conversation that was meant to have. But again, the amount of fans that cheer for Venus Williams that I see daily, I think it's beautiful. Venus is a pioneer. Serena are pioneers. And besides Iga Swiatek's run at number 1, we have to be honest. The last 3 decades, the face of tennis has been black women. Serena, Venus. Sloane had her run there, where after she won the U.S. Open, every sponsor in the United States wanted Sloane. Sloane was all over the TV, so well-spoken, so classy, beautiful smile. Sloane was big. Short run, but Osaka came up, right? She's half black. She had her run on top. And Iga had her run. And let's just be honest, now it's Coco. Now, the sport performs its best when there's one face, right? And I think Coco, despite being ranked 3rd, she was 2nd for most of the year, she's still the face of tennis. And it's tough for Sabalenka being ranked number 1, knowing that Coco's the face of tennis. And Venus Williams, I think, has gladly passed that torch to her sister. And they've done an amazing job, just being mentors and just positive people to look up to. Venus has always been so classy and elegant, and Coco gives them praise every time she can. Serena and Venus, amazing. I think this is going to be a tough match, though. If Ekaterina can recover quickly from Iga, I think they beat Venus and Leylah. I think Zhang Sui at the net is a problem. Even at her age, she moves well. And that's the only issue with Venus. She doesn't move well at her age. If she didn't have the leg injuries, she still got her power, and I think it affects her serve on her lift. But I think she plays her best tennis, horizontally, vertically. If you mix in some short balls, that could be tough. I think if Zhang Sui, I think Ekaterina, if she attacks Venus's side, I think Venus is going to have an issue there. If Zhang Sui attacks Venus's side, I think it's going to be an issue. If they just stay away from Leylah's side, I think they can win the match. But again, it's nice to see Venus out there. And it's nice to hear so many ladies walking the grounds just saying how amazing Venus is. I think that's beautiful. All right, guys, the main event. You guys ready? This match scares me. Let's get right into it. It scares me. Why does it scare me? It scares me because the head-to-head is 3-2, but I've always been honest and transparent. And that's why people come to the channel because, look, I don't have a fancy script. I do have a studio, but I don't have time to get into it. I just hit record. And I'm telling you how I feel, and that's what people want. We don't want the watered down stuff. We don't want the political stuff. We want to know how you feel. And I feel, despite Coco leading this matchup 3-2, and I love Coco, I got to be honest here, I think the head-to-head should probably be 4-1, right? We go back to 2019 U.S. Open. Osaka won that. Bagel in the second set. Classy. She brings Coco over, a young Coco in tears, 15-year-old Coco, and said, look, they want to hear you. They didn't come here for me. I thought that was classy and beautiful. Both ladies started crying. Now, the match in question is the 2020 Australian Open match, where Coco won that in straight sets. I thought Osaka's level was really low. Osaka was a favorite to win that Australian Open. And if Osaka's best level is a 95 to 100%, I thought she played at a 60. She didn't look good, and I'm like, Osaka's not doing anything right out there. I don't know. I think Osaka just didn't play well. Let's go back to last year in Beijing, where Coco just got rid of Brad Gilbert. Osaka was up a set. She got the break. And ask Clara Tauson how it feels to have a title like that. That is rough, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know if I could even look at that in my trophy cabinet. That's tough. Osaka was up a set. She just got the break. All she had to do was hold serve. She would have won the match. Then when she's getting ready to go back out there, some type of, I can't remember. Was it the abdominal or the back? One of the two. She's had so many injuries lately. And it's tough when you shut it down and try to come back. Your body's about muscle memory. A lot of your body, that training, that grueling training that you put your body through, that's how your body gets better and stronger and, able to withstand these long, grueling matches because it starts with training. But when you shut it down and come back, it takes a while to build your body up, and a lot of times you're going to get injuries along the way. So she had to retire from that match, but a lot of people were questioning, could she have held on? Could she have held on and served it out? And again, I don't know because I'm not feeling her pain, but that's a match she should have won. And I think Coco would go on to win Beijing. Very fortunate because that would give her the form she needed. Another match where, the next tournament in China, she would lose to, I want to say, was it Tokyo maybe? She would lose to Sabalenka with like 20 plus double faults, but she still had her form to go to Saudi Arabia and win it. But again, I think that's probably 4-1 if Osaka doesn't pull out due to the injury. She was dominating that match. Coco was on the back foot for a lot of that match. And the Australian Open, I just felt she didn't play well. Osaka's here after taking out Greet Minin. Look, fairly easy match, right? Haley Baptiste. Haley's one of the best shot makers in the world, very comfortable with her racket. But again, fairly easy match. Dasha. I feel Dasha, if she serves well, she's got a chance to win that match, right? Coco's here after taking out Ayla Tomljanovic in 3. Good prerequisite. Good start to the tournament because Coco hasn't played, right? She hasn't played a lot. So I felt that was a good. Since winning the French Open, she has not played a lot of tennis. So I think that's a good match to get her warmed up, to get her form and her shot making just mentally comfortable with where she needs to be. She took out Vekic in straight sets. Vekic was winning the first set. Coco was up a break early. She got the break. She lost the break, got it back. Donna Vekic, a lot of power. And I don't want to downplay Vekic's skills because she's big time. And I feel Vekic would have probably had a much better career. It's not over yet, but if it weren't for the knee injuries, I think Vekic is a top 10 player. She's got a lot of power. That 2019 U.S. Open, very classic vintage Serena Williams, Bianca Andreescu. We all know that Donna Vekic was about to, I don't want to say take over the tour. That's not the proper word. But she was about to become a big-time star on the tour. And then the injuries plagued her. She still has the power and skill to compete at a high level. And I think that's a good win for Coco. The match against Magdalena Freck doesn't really have the power, like I said, to really frustrate opponents, but it's going to be long rallies, 20-shot rallies again, like Isla, very skilled tennis player, good shot maker. And I say it all the time, you learn your shot making on the lower level, right? When you get that power differential, whether it's on the serve, your forehand, your backhand side, that's when you step up to the main tour. Magdalena took a little while for her to convert to the main tour, but I supported her entire career, and I know she's a good shot maker. Coco handled her how she should have, but again, it's getting that form and that rhythm for what's going to be the clash here. And overall, guys, I think both ladies are in good form. I think Osaka, let's not forget, she had that run in Canada where she looked really, really good. And that's what she needed, because when she's playing these athletic players, it's about patience. And I think Andrea Petkovic from Germany, retired now, she said it best. Osaka, during that Canadian run, she's playing a lot more patient. And I'm not sure if Thomas this is something they're working on, but she's playing a lot more patient. The reason she lost that match against Victoria is because her patience started to run out, right? And the key to beat Osaka, you have to be patient, but you have to be athletic to give her a combination of looks, of short balls and deep balls, and lure her into those long rallies. Because Osaka, this is the thing about tennis, you have to be mentally tough and mentally strong. And Osaka's classy, she's amazing. But one of her talents has always been her mental. And now at the point of her career, watching her play, I know if you can bring her deep in rallies and constantly return balls, she's going to get frustrated and she's going to break down. Coco, on the other hand, she's always been a defensive player. And by the way, Coco and Iga's crept up slowly. Coco and Iga, the two best returners now, winning 45% of their return games. Coco has always been a good counterpuncher and a patient, disciplined player. If you go back to watch her at 15 years old taking on Venus during that Wimbledon run, long rallies, defensive player, patient. Coco has to realize, for her to win this match, she has to be patient. She can't rush the issue, because with Osaka gets her strength when she's up. When she's up a break, she starts. And I don't, not in this, I don't want to be politically incorrect here, but when Osaka gets up a break, she gets really confident and she starts styling on you. Yeah, then you're going to see those jump backhands, and she gets very pretty and flashy. Her game is beautiful. And I've said Osaka for many years, I think she's the most technical ball striker. I think she's a very clean ball striker. She is textbook when it comes to technique. When she gets that break, it's a whole different player. Just like when Coco wraps up a set, she's a whole different player. Now, the thing, though, is mentally, this has been a rough week for Coco because all that issue with Taylor Townsend and Yelena, that comes to Coco because she's the face of tennis. So even though she's trying to focus on her game, and she said after the Magdalena Freck win, she said it's been a long week, right? And I feel mentally still, she's got to understand, I think she's stronger mentally than Osaka. And that's going to be the key in this match, because if Coco can be patient like she's been with Isla and Freck, which is why I said those are very important matches for the test, the ultimate test that's coming up, is being mentally patient, because Osaka starts to press. She starts to rush when she wants out of these rallies. And Coco hasn't been doing that. Coco's been patient because remember, guys, with the forehand, I don't think there's an issue with the forehand now. I've said all the time, I've never thought there was an issue with the forehand, actually. I just felt she's running through them. She's too fast. She's setting up her next shot. Now, that's not the issue. She's returning patiently and comfortably with the forehand, and she's not really attacking with the forehand. All right, I think she's got to the point where she's just tired of the criticism with the forehand errors and the counts on them, that she's just playing comfortable, solid tennis with the forehand. She is stretching the court. She's just not being aggressive with winners, waiting till the backhand opens up or till her opponent makes a mistake, or if she can find a passing shot or a short ball to win a point. If she does that in this match with Osaka, I think you can see Osaka start to get really, really frustrated. Now, the match against Magdalena Freck, she got 76% of her first serves in, only 4 double faults. 12 winners, right? Coco has not been aggressive with winners. And only 18 unforced errors. That's not a bad number, 9%, considering you're facing a player that wants to get the ball back, right? I felt she played very good. And even in the first set, she had 6 winners, but she won 79% of her first serves and only 1 double fault, 6 opportunities to break. Now, Osaka overall, ladies and gentlemen, the thing that concerns me now, she gets about 75% of her first serves in. She wins about 74% of those first serves, but she's never been a great returner. You can hold against Osaka. You know, a lot of Osaka's opponents are able to hold. You get a lot of service games that go 9, 10, 12 service games. Now, I do think the big issue with Osaka has been her defense. She only wins about 32% of her return games, while Coco's going to constantly have breakpoint opportunities, right? And by the way, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Iga Swiatek is not tied with Coco. Coco's the best returner on tour. Coco wins 46% of her return games. Iga wins 45% of hers. So I'm sorry for that. I had to correct that because I know I thought about it. I said, wait, 45? No, Coco wins 46% of her return games. So just about 1 out of every 2, Coco's going to break you. So just that metric alone lets you know she's going to have the opportunity to break Osaka in this matchup. Osaka, I want to take a quick look at the match against Hailey Baptiste, right? And then we'll lead into her last match against Dasha. 4 aces, only 1 double fault. She got 60% of her first serves in. She won 69% of the first serve, 67% of her second serve. She had 8 opportunities to break Hailey, while Hailey had 3 opportunities to break her, right? So Hailey still was able to muster up 3 opportunities to break Osaka. The match against Dasha was able to muster up 6 opportunities to break Osaka. So between her last couple of matches, she's giving opponents about 4 opportunities to break her. That's a lot when we're talking about the best defender in the world. And we got to skew that number for Coco being the best returner and defender in the world. If Osaka's averaging 4, I like to see Coco probably average at least 6 to 8, right? Because she's a much better defender. Dasha's a good defender as well. Osaka had 9 aces against Dasha, but again, that was a 3-set match. 4 double faults, 64% of her first serves in play. She won 74% of those, 65% win rate on the second serve. 9 opportunities to break Dasha. She gets the win in 3. I felt if Dasha didn't serve all those double faults, it could have been closer. Coco, let's start with Vekic. 10 double faults from Vekic, 8 double faults from Coco, only 2 aces. Coco still got 69% of her first serves in play. She won 64% of them. Donna Vekic has a lot of power. I was concerned about the second serve, though, where Coco lost 55% of her second serves. But she had 8 opportunities to break Donna. Donna had 6 opportunities to break Coco. Coco cannot give Osaka 6 opportunities to break her. Magdalena had 2 opportunities to break her. The last couple of matches, Coco's giving up 4 opportunities for opponents to break her. 4 double faults from Coco against Freck, but she did get 76% of her first serves in play. She won 71% of the first and the second serves. 11 opportunities to break Magdalena. Between the last 2 matches, 11 opportunities against Freck, against Donna Vekic, 8. The last couple matches, Coco's averaging about 9 double faults. 9 breakpoint opportunities per match. Like I said, that 4 average against Osaka's last 2 opponents, double it. And you're going to be right around where Coco's going to be with breakpoints. First of all, this matchup, I think, goes over. It's going to be a long match. I think we're looking at, take the over 21 service games. It's going to be a long match. I think Osaka's going to come out, like I always say, I think Osaka plays her best tennis in the first set. I think Osaka's been a front runner lately. She'll win the first set. You compete in the second set. Like Elena Rybakina, sometimes you see just the level drop so bad in the second set. She'll gather herself, regroup, and try to give her best in the third set. I think Osaka wins the first set, and Coco's gonna win this match in 3 sets. That's how I think it goes. Coco's gonna be down the first set. Osaka's gonna come out strong. We're gonna see the tide change. Coco's gonna win the second set, and we're gonna go to a third set decider. For Coco to win this match, she has to serve well, as always, reduce her double faults. She can't have more than 4 double faults. She's going to need to put up at least 6 aces. She's going to have to win as many free points as she can without Osaka just trying to step in and take control of the rallies. I think Coco's going to have to be patient. We've seen Osaka's struggles lately with opponents that are disciplined and patient in rallies, and just make Osaka continue to return until mentally she breaks down and physically she gets tired. Coco will have to push the athletic ability on the short balls and anything inside the baseline, making Osaka move her feet because she's got a huge athletic edge. For Osaka to win this match, she has to serve well, reduce her double faults. I think she's got to get at least 70% of her first serves in play. And I think Osaka's going to have a huge win rate on the first serve, at least 75% or higher. Osaka is going to have to attack the forehand, even though I don't think it's really an issue, but she's got to see if she can get into Coco's mental psyche about consistent rallies with the forehand, and maybe Coco can start pressing and making mistakes on that side. That is the key for Osaka. She's also got to get to her backhand angles. I've always talked about Osaka's inside the baseline backhand angles, which are the best in tennis. And she's just got to stay mentally tough and be prepared for a 3-set match. She can't fade like she did against Victoria Mboku in that second and third sets. In the third set, Osaka was mentally gone. And that's a championship match. So Coco's got to realize that, right? Osaka mentally, she's like Rybakina. She doesn't want to play 3 long sets, and she's going to break down mentally if you take her there. Those are the keys of victory. I think Osaka wins the first set. If Coco wins this match, she'll have to do it in 3. This match scares me. This is, in my opinion, I think this is the championship match. I think the winner of this match goes on to win the title. And if Coco's going to win the title and become number 1 in the world, she'll need Marketa to trip up Sabalenka now. And Coco needs to win this match. I think Ekaterina gets past Iga. If Coco can get past Osaka, she defeats Ekaterina. She's in the championship match. It's either going to be Pegula or Marketa. I think Pegula and Marketa is going to be very tough because I think Marketa can beat Coco. I really do. I think Marketa can... not Coco. What am I saying? Good energy. I think Marketa can beat Pegula. I really think Marketa can beat Pegula. We've all seen Coco beat Marketa, so I know Marketa is not going to beat Coco. That's how I think it could play out. I think it could really play out like that. Coco and Ekaterina for the final appearance, and Marketa and Pegula for the final appearance. That's going to be a good matchup. But Coco's got to get past Osaka. This match scares me, guys. I got Osaka up a set. Can Coco win it in 3, guys? We'll see. Tennis in a minute. We'll be back.